Sometimes product development can be a little bit too much engineering driven, you understand?
You love and hate. You love to be there on the one hand, but you also hate it.
Yeah, of course, the printing industry is a very challenging industry. It changed a lot.
My name is Joachim Spies. I'm working as a product manager for Flexo in Glunz Jensen. How do we get ideas for the right development? Well, first of all, we are in close contact to our end users, to our customers. Our customers are various parties out there. You could define customers as our dealers, our sales channel, our OEM partners, our customers. They pay our bills, you could say.
Our business is basically split in two main areas. One area is the offset business, which is processing solutions for the offset industry. And then we have what we call the Flexo business, which is value solutions in terms of equipment and services for the flexographic industry. We have partners that are focusing on each their respective areas. And what we try to do is to go in and offer our products and our services, our competences is within our niche, to add value to their offerings to their customers. So we are in what we call the B2B part of the world. We sell to other businesses who then sell to end customers, as we call them.
The real customer we're dealing with is the end user. That is the pre-press department or the trade house out there handling our equipment. We consider them to be the real end users of our equipment, and those we are in close contact with.
Glunz Jensen is a 40-year-old company, and we originally started with film processors, film for the plate. But now we do plate processors for Flexo, for packaging, and plate processors for offset, for the media, for newspapers, magazine, books, posters, and then we do after-sales service. So we have 3 business areas, and we are a global company, distributing our products through the main plate manufacturers all over the world.
Typical day for a product manager here is that I have a big portion of my daily work is coordination between the various departments in Glunz Jensen and the market. That means our customers, our end users. So one typical day may comprise of a typical specific matter we have with the customer, which needs to be coordinated between customer support and sales.
We do have facilities here in Denmark. Then we have our main manufacturing site in Slovakia, and then we have our Flexo activities in Milan and in Ringe in Fynen, and then we have after-sales service in the United States and in Shanghai, China. But then our distributors have their local offices all over, from Chile in west to Japan in east. So by this way, we cover the entire world.
Another typical activity for me would be to support our sales team with more detailed technical information about our products, to support them with sales materials, to coordinate the marketing work around it. Another important, very important aspect is to provide input to R&D, to work together very closely with R&D and provide the necessary input they need from the market to the R&D team, to the engineers, so we prepare the right products for our customers. It goes both ways, I would say. We have an active process, a structured process around it. We call it Voice of Customer. That means we are actively approaching selected customers, having fairly intensive interviews with them in order to understand their individual workflow, their individual needs, and to understand how they create value for their business. This is, I'd say, the base for our considerations. So starting from that, we then enter a dialogue with the customer, how we can help them to even improve their business and create more value. And we consider that being the best approach to this work, because it really tells us much more than we would ever anticipate about what their real needs are.
We work very hard on being a front runner, and we invest a lot. We have a relative large R&D department. It's 10% of our workforce, and it's also 10% of our turnover we put into R&D. So we really aim to change the future and also to come up with new exciting products.
Sometimes product development can be a little bit too much engineering driven, you understand? But engineers do not always fully understand what the customer really appreciates with the product. And this is where my role comes in. My primary role in that respect is to have the finger on the pulse of the market. Where are the trends going on? Where will the business, the industry be inside the next 5 to 10 years?
There's a lot going on in the automation of the flexo industry. We believe very much that it will be more and more automated. It will go from stack to stack. So you simply have a stack into the laser and you have a stack of plates out ready for print. And all this entire automation process we very much drive right now and would like to drive further. Also, I believe that's the way you survive, coming up with new interesting product which makes value for the customer, either automation or even more reliable processes.
We carry out very extensive beta testing of our products. Beta testing by nature is taking place in close cooperation with our customers. We receive feedback. And all this happens still under R&D, in the R&D phase. And until we have fully released the products, after that phase, we will not release it. So when we release a product, when we launch it, our customers can be confident it is fully validated and ready for his jobs.
Of course, the printing industry is a very challenging industry. It changed a lot into digital, and it also changed a lot into other medias, going from the printed media to the electronic media, tablets and other medias, and therefore also we have moved a lot into the packaging and do equipment for flexo sleeves, which mainly used in the packaging industry.
Flexo as such, the flexo printing technology has so many big advantages over digital printing. We are not concerned about that element. We consider the flexo industry being a growth business also in the future.
In my world, it's not a question of either or. It's a question of and or. I think a lot of products can coexist. You can have a high-end printing press from brand ABC. You can have a digital solution from brand EDF. and you can have a plate writer from Glunz Jensen. It can all coexist. For some, it could be an overkill. I think the best that a printer contemplating an investment could do is to talk to existing printers instead of just relying on what every supplier will say. My agenda is to sell. I'm responsible for sales, so of course I will sell as much as I can, and so is my team. So as an investor, I think you should do a little bit of homework and talk to companies that already have the technology and try to understand what is the real value of either a plate writer or a digital solution or an analog print solution.
The packaging industry, as we see it, it will grow as the supermarket growth, especially in the third world countries, but also in the large countries like India, like China, like Indonesia, like Mexico, like Brazil. And that's the reason also why we have invested heavily in the packaging industry, because we are challenged on the media, on the newspapers and the magazine business.
It's a bit of a challenge because we do have a changing industry. Many industries are changing, but we have been around for more than 40 years, and fortunately we are in a position where we have a network of very strong partnerships across our various business areas. We have a business area in Glunz Jensen that is called Graphic Quick Service, or GKS, which is a service organization that originated in Denmark but has grown to be outside Denmark. Now we are in the Scandinavian countries, we are in the UK, we are in the US, and we are opening GKS services in more countries. The objective of GKS is exactly to go in and offer services to our partners, private label partners or G&J dealers, in addition to, or sometimes instead of, the partners doing the services themselves. So we go in and offer preventive maintenance services, we go in and offer full service contracts, installations, break and fix services. It really is depending upon what the partner is looking for. In some instances, we are already providing the services to certain partners. In other instances, it's a dialogue that's ongoing. And yet in other instances, again, the partners prefer to do the service themselves. So we have the whole mix.
Yeah, the financial crisis was also tough for Glunz Jensen. The turnover dropped dramatically from 2008 to 2009 and 10.
So a lot of our energy and effort has gone into revamping our almost entire product mix.
Glunz Jensen was forced to cut down on the cost and on the staff. We outsourced even further to our factory in Slovakia, or moved production and activities to our factory in Slovakia, and stepped down here in Denmark. Because we have been able to cut immediately our cost down, we were a profitable company in 10, 11, 12. And thereby we could make the acquisitions and therefore grow our company and grow it into a new area, which was the packaging business.
We see stronger competition in the marketplace over the last 24 months. There are new competitors coming up that weren't around about a year or two ago, which we potentially or probably didn't expect to see. We have decided how we will face that competition, and we have made some recent strategic decisions to be better equipped.
It's been tough for us financially, also because there have been a setback in the business, several changes.
We have suffered last year, but we are bouncing back.
We will have several new products both in the solvent flexo, in water-based flexo and in thermal-based flexo. There will be an increased sales and increased interest for the new product, and we thereby again will be able to have our flexo business into a profitable figures.
We already see a positive impact in a number of markets from how we go to market now compared to how we did it in the past, and with the products and services that we offer. So I think you will see us coming back, so to speak, in flexo and potentially even grow the market. That's at least our strategic agenda. This is what we have promised a lot of stakeholders in Glunz Jensen that will happen, and we already see that happening.
Now we are in our warehouse, in our global warehouse distribution center. We do distribute everyday parts all over the world. We do have more than 50,000 installations worldwide, which we have installed over the years. And it's very, very important that we can have spare parts and after-sales service out to those installations worldwide. And we do have 24-hour service even to the United States, to the East Coast, and say 48 hours we are basically around the world. We have a guarantee that we at least have spare parts 7 years after a piece of equipment has been taken out of the market. What is very important is that when a pre-press house, a print shop all over the world buy a piece of Glunz Jensen equipment, they know that there will be after-sales service also after the product have been taken out of the market and obsolete. Of course, several of our distributors do have local stock, but more and more this is reduced to a minimum, and they really rely that they can have the original spare parts sent out the same day as it's ordered.
We have a well-established system for maintaining our existing product portfolio. Our customer support department, my colleagues from customer support are heavily involved in that. And we have inside our quality management system very good processes to convey feedback from the market on existing products into R&D or product maintenance. I come into the picture. I will get involved when we are talking about more significant product changes that would be under my responsibility. So I'd say minimum 80% of my time goes with new product development.
The common buzzword is that it can take years to build a customer, it can take seconds to lose one. I think one of our forte is that we have been partners with a lot of very big corporations for a number of years, more than 40 years with some of them. And we have always had a very high level of ethics, moral and integrity in how we do business with different partners, some of which are competitors in between. If you look at companies like Kodak, Fujifilm and Agfa-Gevaert, they compete heavily in the offset market, as do the companies of Flint and DuPont in the flexo market. But I think we have earned the trust of our partners so that we can do business with all of them. And we can only do that by keeping a very high level of ethics and moral to make sure that we treat partners as if they were the only partner to J&J, that we don't break the code of business, and we protect the value of the partnership. And we focus a lot on that by keeping what we call Chinese walls between the partnerships, so that there's no spillover of knowledge and market understanding or technological intelligence between one partner and the other. that goes both ways. We will never talk about one company towards another company and vice versa. And we are very conscious about this because this is core and crucial in the partnership and the business relationships that we have with these partners.
We see the world basically in three areas. We have the Americas, North and South America, and then we have EMEA, Europe, Middle East, Africa, including Russia, and then we have Asia Pacific. And they are basically three areas with the same size. In some years, one region is performing better than others, but we see those three regions as three equally important regions. Right now, there's a lot of hype about Africa, and we are there. We have a very good distribution channels in basically each country of Africa. And percentage-wise, it will definitely be an interested area. You can say dollar-wise, it's still a minor part of our total business. But all three areas has an important role in our daily business. We are ready for Drupa. We are working very hard.
And Drupa, the clock is ticking.
It's the exhibition that you love and hate.
Very soon, I guess, we will have a watch applied to our intranet, so everybody can see in our organization that the time is ticking, the watch is ticking right now.
You love to be there on the one hand, but you also hate it because it's so stressful, it's so long, and after a few days you don't know whether it's morning or night.
It's really where you show the world your window for the next 2-3 years. How do you see the world, and what do you have in your product portfolio?
I think most in the industry will agree with me that Drupa is the mecca of all exhibitions.
For Drupa, we have a very, very strong and exciting pipeline.
Then you are just constantly busy, 24/7. But it's also something that nobody would miss in the graphic arts because it's the buzz of the industry. This is where the news comes. This is where you network with all your relationships and all your partners and all your friends and even with your competitors, of course.
Software is a natural part of our products. We are talking about process standardization, algorithms used for certain specific processes. We're talking about production data integration. Yes, software is an important part of our products. The really main driver we believe will dominate the industry over the next years is automation, standardization of processes, and we are reconsidering the entire product portfolio in that respect. So Drupa will be under the headline of automation and standardization, and we have some really exciting, I would almost say revolutionary ideas how to address these market needs in the future.
We invest a lot in having a solid representation that justifies Glunz Jensen at the show. Could we have a better return of investment from that? Probably. By other marketing initiatives. I would not question that. I actually think we could. But on the other hand, Drupa is also, as I said, the mecca, and I think by not being there will probably create more damage than good. So we take it as a positive and expensive opportunity.
I think as an organization we're prepared for this. It's not the first Drupa. Our company is 40 years old. We have seen it, we've done it so many times, and I'm confident we will do it again. Everybody's set up for it, believe me.